YouTube, what's up? It's your boy ANDIS Barber coming back at you with another haircut tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be doing a comb over with a skin fade. So before any cut, I like to begin by brushing or combing out my client's hair. Shout out to Still 2 Comb for this dope comb you see me using. And what I'm really trying to achieve here is I just like to get the hair to lay in its natural direction so I could just get a good overview of what needs to take place. So now that I got the hair laid down, I'm going to jump right in with my ANDIS SLIMLINE Pro LI, and I'm going to begin to create my first guideline, which is going to be my bald guideline. So now that my bald guideline has been created, I'm going to completely bald it out using my BABYLISSPRO Foil FX02. And you're going to notice that when I'm getting towards the top of that guideline that I'm using that flick out motion and I'm somewhat avoiding it. And that's because I want to demonstrate a smooth transition from completely bald to stubble, because that's going to help this blend pop a little bit later. So once I clean and bald out everything towards the bottom, anything that I left towards the top of that guide, I'll now take my shaver, I'll come in, and you see I'm dabbing downwards on it. And what that's doing is it's knocking down any weight or any guide that may have been created, and it's also giving me that look that I'm looking for from completely bald to stubble. So now that I have everything blended out for that previous guide, I'm now going to come in with my WAHL magic clip with the original fade blade, and I'm going to begin to set and create my next guideline. And I'd say I'm going up a little under an inch right here, and that's because there's not a whole lot of room to work with. So I'm trying to keep everything in perspective when it comes to this blend. So from here on out, any other guide that I do set and create, it's gonna look exactly like this, because I like to keep everything consistent with this blend. So now that my guide was created, I'm now going to close my lever with the same clipper, and I'm going to begin to blend from the bottom of that guide right back up towards the top of that guide. And little by little, as I work my way up, you're going to see that I open my lever. And every time that I do that and work my way up, you're going to notice that that guideline's moving up with me. But that's okay, because that's exactly what we're looking for. By the time we're back towards the top of that guide with that lever fully extended, it'll be completely blended out. And literally you could see it take place right here. I just moved up the guide with the lever closed. Now I just opened up my lever a little bit more, and you could see that I'm moving up that guide even more. I'm erasing and I'm creating. I'm erasing the guide that was set and I'm creating a newer one. But the newer one is something we're looking for, so it's not like I created a guide. No, it's gonna go along with the system that you're doing. So by the time I open this lever one more time, about the third notch, you're gonna notice that that guide's already pretty much blended out. But nevertheless, I'm still gonna open it one more time, because I wanna keep everything consistent with my blend. So I don't wanna try to switch up anything that I already know and trust. Alright, so now that I went through the process, you're going to see me do some lever play. And what I mean by lever play is you're gonna notice that I'm opening and closing my lever. I'm using the whole blade, I'm using the corner of the blade, and right here all I'm doing is I'm detailing the guide that we just set, created, and removed. So I never stop in the middle of the process. I go through the whole process and then I come back through and I detail anything that I seen along the way as I was setting, creating, and removing that guideline. So now that it's all removed, I'm gonna take my WAHL magic clip, this time with the taper blade. I have the number 1 WAHL color guard with the lever open, and now I'm gonna begin to set and create my next guideline, keeping in mind that I'm gonna give myself the same amount of space that I just gave myself with the previous guide, because again, I wanna keep everything very consistent with this blend. So now that my guideline's been created, I'm now gonna close my lever and I'm gonna begin to blend from the bottom of that guide right back up towards the top of that guide, just like the previous guide. But this time I'm gonna keep my lever closed. So I'm gonna begin to blend from the bottom of that guide and I'm gonna go right back up, right to underneath where I just left off with the lever fully open. And typically the 1 leaves some weight behind. And I've actually received a few comments lately about how hard it has been for people to remove the weight left behind by the 1 closed. So pay close attention to the next step, because I'm going to show you how to remove that without raising your fade. Alright, so now I'm going to come in with my WAHL half color guard with the lever open, and right where I just showed you, that was the weight left behind by that 1 close. So with my lever open, I'm coming in and I'm attacking that weight line, and I'm going right above the weight that I see. Again, that's right above the weight that I see. And with that half guard with the lever fully open, that's somewhat equivalent to that 1 closed. So by me attacking right above, I'm not going too high up. So the way I'm going to remove this is the fade down process, meaning I'm going to close my lever as needed and work my way down until it's completely blended out. And so that's why when I first approach it, I come in with the lever fully open and I go right above the weight that I see. And then I begin to close my lever, work my way down until it's completely blended out. If you trust that, you'll never ever ever run into issues with raising your fade, and clearly we could all see right now that it's already starting to take place and that guide's completely blended out. Alright, so now that that's blended out, I wanted to jump over to the other side. We're in the same steps and the same processes we were with the other side, but I wanted to show this side because it is a comb over, so I just wanted to show you guys my approach on it. So if a client doesn't ask for a lip to be left on the side, meaning if he doesn't want like a stack or a shelf right there, then this is how I approach it. So this is the way my client likes his comb over. So what you see me do is I separated the hair on top from the hair on the side that I wanted to still use clipper work and fade on. And so this is actually giving me that comb over that he's looking for. So I'm gonna come in with my WAHL number 2 premium guard with the lever open, and I'm just gonna remove any bulk that I see. Alright, so now that I removed all the bulk that I can with the lever fully open, I'm now going to begin to close my lever and blend from the bottom of that right back up to where I just left off with the lever fully open, just like the previous guides. And if there's any weight left behind right here, my client right now, his hair blends out fairly easy. But if there is any weight left behind, now after you clean up with the 2 closed, you're gonna wanna follow it up with the 1.5 with the lever fully open. And again, use that fade down process. So attack right where you see the weight, close your lever as needed, and work your way down. Alright, so right here is where I was getting ready to do some clipper over comb to bring my blend into that length on top. And I'm not cutting inside my barber shop right now, I'm actually cutting in a studio, and I accidentally booked 2 people at the same time. And so I wasn't able to finish and capture the rest of this cut like I would have wanted to. So I apologize about that. But here are the steps that I take to achieve the final look. And even with the final look, I wasn't able to capture any angles or the look that I would have wanted to complement it the best. But nevertheless, I still wanted to drop this because I feel like there's jewels here for somebody. Even if it's that one person struggling with removing that weight line left by the 1 closed without raising their fade up, even if only that person benefits from this, it was worth dropping. So here is a look at the final cut. Again, I appreciate y'all. Be blessed and be a blessing. I'm out.